Do you wake up in the middle of the night to urinate and then struggle to fall back asleep? Does this happen almost every night? Have you ever wondered why this is becoming more frequent with age? Is it really normal to wake up several times at night just because you're getting older? And more importantly, is there really nothing you can do to stop this? Many people believe that waking up at night to urinate is just part of aging. But what if I told you that this could be the direct result of 5 simple habits that almost no one realizes are harming their sleep? And what if I showed you how easy and accessible adjustments to your daily routine can dramatically improve your quality of life and even prevent serious diseases? Stick with me until the end of this video, because today I'm going to reveal what I call the invisible adjustment, the most ignored and most powerful habit for ending nocturia. This alone has transformed the lives of hundreds of people I've followed. You're going to be surprised. Let's get right to it. First, what exactly is nocturia? It's the medical term for waking up one or more times during the night to urinate. And while it's common, it shouldn't be accepted as normal. The good news is that in most cases, the cause isn't a serious illness. It lies in everyday details. And before we dive into the habits that contribute to this condition, it's important to understand why this problem is so serious. Waking up during the night disrupts the most crucial phase of sleep, deep sleep, especially the REM stage. It's during REM sleep that the brain organizes memories, the body repairs itself, and key hormones are regulated. When this cycle is interrupted frequently, the long-term effects are devastating. People with nocturia have a much higher risk of nighttime falls, especially when they get up while still drowsy. There's also a direct link to increased cardiovascular issues, like high blood pressure and arrhythmias. Not to mention the emotional impacts, constant fatigue, irritability, lack of motivation, and even symptoms of depression. Now here's the most shocking part. 78% of elderly individuals maintain daily habits that worsen this condition. And this can be reversed with small changes. The first one may seem obvious, but it's overlooked by almost everyone. We're talking about drinking liquids in the 3 hours before bedtime. Yes, that relaxing herbal tea or a light soup at dinner could be sabotaging your sleep. That's because drinking liquids late in the day interferes with a hormone called vasopressin. It's the hormone that reduces urine production while we sleep. If this mechanism is blocked, your kidneys keep working as if it were daytime, and your bladder will wake you up. It's not just water. Fruits like watermelon, soups, juices, and even some medications hide significant amounts of liquid. Margaret's story is a typical case. At 72, she was waking up 4 to 5 times each night. Everything changed when she replaced her dinner soup with dry foods and set a liquid curfew at 7 p.m. 2 weeks later, she was down to waking only once a night. So how can you apply this today? Start by setting a fixed time to stop drinking liquids. Ideally, 3 hours before going to bed. If you sleep at 10 p.m., stop by 7 p.m. Avoid teas, water, juices, soups, and water-rich fruits like watermelon and pineapple. Keep a glass of water by your bed just for emergencies. And if you take medications that cause thirst or have diabetes, talk to your doctor about alternatives. The benefits of this simple change are profound. Complete sleep cycles, waking up more refreshed, and a significant reduction in nighttime falls. Most importantly, you begin to regain the autonomy that nocturia silently takes away. Now tell me, do you have the habit of drinking something before bed? Have you ever tried cutting back on evening fluids? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone going through the same thing. And if this first habit makes such a difference, imagine the impact of correcting all 5. In the next part, we'll talk about a very common mistake, dinner time and the types of foods you put on your plate. It might sound trivial, but what you eat and when you eat can determine whether you sleep through the night or wake up several times. Have you ever noticed how your dinner can directly affect your sleep? Many people think that poor sleep is just a consequence of aging, but few realize the problem might be right there, on their plate and in their dinner schedule. Let's get to the point. One of the biggest sleep disruptors for elderly individuals is eating dinner too late, especially after 8 p.m. It gets even worse when that meal includes foods that stimulate urine production. That light dinner with tomatoes, cucumbers, or green tea to relax, it might be exactly what's making your body work at night when it should be resting. And if you're thinking, but I've always eaten like this and never had a problem before, remember that the body changes with age. Metabolism slows down, kidney and bladder function change, and what used to go unnoticed now directly interferes with sleep quality. Here's the science. The digestive system takes about 3 to 4 hours to fully process a meal. If you eat too close to bedtime, your body stays active throughout the night. This disrupts your natural hormone production and stimulates the bladder. Diuretic foods like tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelon, coffee, green tea, chocolate, parsley, and cilantro are especially problematic at night. They make your kidneys filter more fluids and increase urine volume. Combine that with salty foods like sauces, processed meats, and aged cheeses, and things get worse. Take Robert, for example. At 68, he was used to having dinner around 8:30 p.m., a meal that seemed healthy, salad with tomato, cucumber, some white meat, and a cup of green tea with light biscuits. The result? He was waking up 3 times a night. After adjusting his dinner to 6:30 p.m. and replacing those ingredients with sleep-friendly options, he started sleeping up to 6 uninterrupted hours in less than 3 weeks. So what can you do right now to change this? First, move your dinner earlier. Ideally, eat between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. to give your body enough time to digest. It might feel early at first, but the benefits are worth it. Second, choose foods that help you relax and don't overload your kidneys. Lean grilled meat, rice, sweet potatoes, broccoli, carrots, bananas, oats, all of these help stabilize your body at night. Avoid the so-called sleep enemies, the diuretics, excessive salt, fried foods, spicy dishes, and alcohol. Another often overlooked point: if you take medications that need to be taken with food, talk to your doctor about rescheduling your doses. In many cases, it's possible to adjust your routine for better alignment with your sleep. And don't worry, you don't have to go to bed hungry. A light snack, like a slice of toast with a bit of white cheese, can be okay up to an hour before bed if needed. But the focus should be on an early dinner with foods that are gentle on your body and bladder. The results of this change are clear: fewer nighttime bathroom trips, easier digestion, less reflux, reduced morning swelling, and more energy when you wake up. It sounds simple, and it is, but few people do it. Now tell me, what time do you usually have dinner? And what do you typically eat at night? Leave a comment. Sharing your routine can help others reflect on theirs and maybe make the changes they need. And if that tip made sense, just wait for what I'll show you next. Because the next habit seems harmless, but it reprograms your bladder to wake you up unnecessarily at night. It's something most people do thinking it's helpful, but in fact, it's training their body to wake up earlier and more often. And yes, it's reversible. Have you ever gone to the bathroom before bed, even though you didn't really need to, just to be safe? A lot of people do this thinking they're being cautious. But the truth is, repeating this habit every day might be training your bladder to function improperly and causing you to wake up at night for no reason. This behavior is called preventive urination. The person goes to the bathroom out of routine, anxiety, or habit, not out of necessity. And what does this do? Over time, your bladder begins to learn that it needs to empty at smaller volumes. In other words, it loses its normal storage capacity before signaling urgency. Why is this a problem? Because a healthy bladder only starts sending signals when it holds about 300 to 500 milliliters of urine. But if you train it to function at 100 or 150 milliliters, it starts waking you up at night without actually being full. The urgency becomes false, and you end up waking once, twice, 3 times a night, even when there's no real need. Dorothy's case is a perfect example. At 74, she had a nightly ritual. She would go to the bathroom before bed, even if she didn't feel like it, just to feel secure. 2 hours later, she was awake again with a false sense of urgency. With proper guidance, She began to respect her actual need to urinate and started bladder retraining. The result? Within just a few days, she was sleeping 5 to 6 hours straight. So how can you start to reverse this? First, only go to the bathroom if you truly feel the need. If you feel anxious, try a gentle distraction before bed, light reading, soft music, or a relaxation technique. Training your body to return to the correct pattern takes time, but it works. If you have any level of incontinence or are taking diuretics, it's essential to talk to your doctor. There are specific retraining protocols that can be followed safely. The goal is to gradually restore your bladder's capacity and reduce nighttime bathroom trips. Another important point, if you have limited mobility or are afraid of falling, it might be tempting to keep a portable urinal nearby just in case. But if it's used unnecessarily, it reinforces the same unhelpful behavior. Use it only when there's true urgency. Otherwise, the risk is that you're deepening the habit you need to break. Over time, your bladder will regain its full functional capacity and nighttime trips to the bathroom will naturally decrease. The benefits are clear: deeper sleep, fewer interruptions, more confidence, and even improved mood and energy during the day. Now be honest, do you go to the bathroom before bed even when you don't really need to? Has this become a habit? Share your experience in the comments. This kind of story helps others realize they're not alone and might inspire change. And if this habit was already sabotaging your sleep, wait until you hear what I'll share next. A simple detail in how you sleep, your position in bed, could be pressing on your bladder and increasing urine production. It sounds trivial, but the way you lie down might be the key to quieter nights. Have you ever thought about how you sleep? On your side, on your back, or on your stomach? It may seem like a small detail, but your sleeping position could be directly linked to how often you wake up to urinate. And it's more common than you think. Sleeping on your stomach, for example, puts direct pressure on the bladder. This constant compression sends signals of urgency even when the bladder isn't full. On top of that, this position harms circulation, leading to more fluid being filtered by the kidneys. The result? Increased urine production during the night. Sleeping on your back can also be a problem, especially if you suffer from sleep apnea or heavy snoring. Poor oxygenation disrupts the body's hormonal balance, including the production of vasopressin, the hormone that reduces nighttime urine output. Now, sleeping on your side, especially your left side, with a medium firm pillow between your knees is the most beneficial position. It relieves pressure on the bladder, improves blood circulation, and helps drain excess fluids that would otherwise cause swelling, another common source of nocturia. A study published in the Journal of Urology found that among elderly people with nocturia, those who changed their sleeping position saw up to a 40% reduction in nighttime urination episodes in just 2 weeks. And this was without any medication. Frank, 71, is a great example. He had slept on his stomach for decades and woke up 3 times a night. With guidance, he started sleeping on his side, using pillows between his knees and behind his back to maintain the position. In 2 weeks, he was down to 1 or 2 nightly awakenings, and most importantly, he woke up feeling more rested, with fewer backaches and more energy. So, what can you do today to start changing this? Begin by making a gradual transition. If you're used to sleeping on your stomach or back, it might feel strange at first. Use support pillows behind your back to prevent rolling over during sleep. A pillow between your knees helps keep your spine aligned and reduces discomfort. For your head, use a pillow that keeps your neck in line with your spine, not too high, not too low. If you suffer from joint pain or arthritis, look into ergonomic pillows that adapt better to your body. And if you snore or have sleep apnea, sleeping on your side is even more essential as it improves airflow and reduces nighttime awakenings. Good sleep starts with small adjustments. The right sleeping position relieves internal pressure, improves circulation, reduces snoring, and helps your body enter deep sleep cycles, especially REM sleep, which is crucial for restoring energy and mental clarity. Now tell me, have you ever tried changing your sleeping position? Was it difficult? Leave a comment and share your experience. And if you haven't tried yet, give it a few nights and then come back to tell us what changed. You might be surprised. And if you found this tip helpful, wait until you see what's next. Because even with all these adjustments, many people still wake up at night. And the culprit is often the environment itself. The temperature of your room, the clothes you sleep in, even your sheets. All of this directly affects the hormones that regulate your sleep and bladder. And that's what we'll cover in the next part. Did you know that your bedroom could be making you wake up at night, even if everything else is right? Room temperature, the fabric of your sleepwear, and even the type of sheets you use have a direct impact on your nighttime urine production. And almost no one talks about it. The human body has a biological clock that's extremely sensitive to temperature. When you prepare for sleep, your body naturally begins to lower its internal temperature by about 1 to 2 degrees Celsius. This drop is essential for the production of two key hormones, melatonin, which induces sleep, and vasopressin, which reduces urine production at night. Now think about it. If your room is too hot, above 20 degrees, 68 degrees, or if you're wearing thick sleepwear made of synthetic fabrics that trap heat, your body won't be able to make this natural adjustment. The result? Vasopressin production is disrupted, your kidneys stay active, and you're up again in the middle of the night. Eleanor, 69, dealt with this exact issue. She used to sleep in flannel pajamas under polyester sheets without air conditioning, even on warm nights. She woke up 4 to 5 times every night and thought it was just part of aging. After switching to lightweight cotton pajamas and keeping her room between 18 degrees and 20 degrees, 64 to 68 degrees, she started having nights with only 2 interruptions. Within 3 weeks, she occasionally slept through the entire night. It's a simple change, but a powerful one. Here's what you can do. Keep your bedroom temperature between 18 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius, 64 to 68 degrees Celsius. Use fans, air conditioning, or even crack open a window, depending on your local climate. Avoid letting the room temperature go above 22 degrees Celsius, 72 degrees Celsius, which already begins to interfere with your body's thermal regulation. Choose sleepwear made from natural fibers like cotton, bamboo, or linen. These materials allow for heat exchange, absorb sweat, and let your skin breathe. Avoid synthetic fabrics like polyester, nylon, and microfiber. Use lightweight, breathable sheets made of natural fibers as well. Thin layers are better than heavy blankets. If you feel cold at night, use light, removable layers rather than thick bedding that traps heat. If you take medications that affect your body temperature, such as certain antidepressants, talk to your doctor. There may be ways to adjust your meds or your environment to reduce those effects. The benefits are real and fast. Longer uninterrupted sleep, fewer trips to the bathroom, less night sweating, deeper REM sleep, and more energy in the morning. Best of all, you regain control of your sleep with simple, medication-free changes. Now I want to hear from you. What's the temperature like in your room? Have you ever thought about that? And what fabric is your sleepwear made of? Leave a comment. Sharing this kind of information helps others notice details that may be silently affecting their health too. And if you've made it this far, congratulations. You now understand that small changes make a huge difference. But there's still one essential detail left: how to bring it all together and turn these 5 changes into a consistent lifestyle. That's exactly what we'll cover in the final part. A simple plan that brings transformational results. Now that you know the 5 habits that sabotage your sleep and increase nocturia, it's time for the most important step, putting it all into practice. Because knowing what to do is one thing, but doing it consistently is what truly changes your quality of life. Let's quickly recap. First, you learned that drinking liquids in the 3 hours before bed keeps your kidneys active at night and interferes with vasopressin, the hormone that controls nighttime urine production. The fix? Stop drinking liquids at least 3 hours before bed and avoid hidden fluids in foods like soups and watery fruits. Then, we saw how eating dinner late and choosing the wrong foods stimulates urine production and disrupts your sleep. The solution is to eat earlier at least 4 hours before bed, and swap diuretic foods for those that help your body relax. Next, you discovered that urinating just in case trains your bladder to wake you up with smaller and smaller volumes. The answer is to only go when there's a true urge and use gentle distractions or follow a bladder retraining protocol if needed. We also covered how your sleeping position affects your bladder. Sleeping on your stomach or with poor pillow support puts pressure on your bladder and interferes with circulation. The better position, on your side, with proper support for your knees and neck. Finally, we tackled the temperature of your room and your sleepwear. If your sleep environment is too warm or your clothes are too heavy or synthetic, your body can't produce vasopressin and melatonin correctly, and this raises your risk of nighttime awakenings. So how do you put all of this into action? Start by creating a short night checklist based on these 5 habits. Something you can quickly review each evening until it becomes second nature. For example, stop drinking fluids by 7 p.m. Eat dinner between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m., avoiding diuretic foods. Only use the bathroom before bed if you really need to. Set up your bed for side sleeping with the right pillows. Adjust room temperature to 18-20 degrees C and wear breathable pajamas. Simple, direct, and highly effective. The best part? None of this requires medications, expensive consultations, or invasive procedures. These are changes you can start today with what you already have at home, and the results often appear within the first week. As you saw in the stories of Margaret, Robert, Dorothy, Frank, and Eleanor, some noticed improvements in just a few days. Others took a few weeks, but the key was consistency. More than just sleeping better, these changes give you something far greater: autonomy. Waking less often means fewer risks of falls, a sharper mind, better mood, stronger heart, and even disease prevention. It means having the energy to do what you love. And most of all, it means living with freedom. Now tell me, which of these 5 changes do you think will be easiest to implement, and which one seems the most challenging? Leave your answer in the comments. Let's build a community where people help each other, share stories, and turn tips into transformation. And if this content helped you in any way, like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. That way more people can access this information and take the first step toward a better life, just like you did. See you next time. Take care of your sleep. It's the foundation of everything.